Hello dear friends, today we are going to play Plants vs. Zombies.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like it, and write your divine comment.
Let's not hesitate and start the passage. I suggest playing each level in turn so that everyone has time to play.
Great idea. Let Pomni begin.
Hey guys, why do you think Plants vs. Zombies is still so popular?
Probably because of her unique combination of strategy and humor. I always laugh when I see nimble peas and friendly sunny flowers.
But it seems to me that this is a very fascinating gameplay. You start with cute sunflowers and then suddenly huge zombie giants attack.
The game is just perfectly balanced. At first glance, it may seem easy, but as you progress through the levels, the tasks become more difficult.
I know the rules of the game. I collect the suns and then buy pea shoots. Since these are the initial levels, zombies have no chance. And how do you like the idea of using plants instead of standard defense mechanisms?
This definitely gives a special charm to the game. What about the fact that each plant has its own unique abilities?
This makes each plant unique, and you have to build your strategy depending on which plants you have in your arsenal.
And the main villain is Zomboss. I will never forget his first appearance. That's when I first thought about zombies as a serious threat.
The level is almost finished. The final wave remains. I have nostalgia. I'm already waiting for more difficult levels.
And what are your favorite levels or modes in the game?
I love the pool level when you need to use seaweed. It's always fun to watch zombies swim.
I probably like the level with the roof. There you need to be strategic to use pots to grow plants.
I love the survival mode where the waves of zombies are getting harder and harder and you have to raise your skills.
In fact, the game has something magical that makes you come back again and again. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Despite the years, this game remains a classic.
I agree. It's like wine, it only gets better with time.
Exactly so. Why don't we get together on the weekend and plunge into this exciting world of Plants vs. Zombies again?
A wonderful idea! Let's create your own team of survivors against zombies! Guys, it's been many years since we started playing Plants vs. Zombies. What memories do you have of the first part?
Oh, that first game was something special, so much nostalgia. I remember the first time I encountered the main zombie. He amazed me.
It is interesting how in the first part, the zombies were less sophisticated than in the subsequent ones. But that, perhaps, made them even more terrifying.
And the variety of plants was also impressive. After all, then, there were not all those that are now. It amazed me how they could interact.
I remember how I tried to pass the levels in the dark when only the moon was shining. There was no such atmosphere in the subsequent parts.
And how do you like the adventure mode? The game took you through all the levels with different types of zombies.
Yes, it was fun. But to be honest, some of the levels were quite challenging, especially those where it was impossible to use certain types of plants.
In fact, Plants vs. Zombies was one of those games that could interest not only experienced gamers, but also those who had not played before.
I see you're using tactics with the maximum number of sunflowers. Are you afraid that there won't be enough suns?
I always act without mistakes. I'd rather have a lot of sunshine than die because I don't have enough money to buy a pea drill.
Sounds logical. The main thing is that you pass the level, and in what ways it does not matter.
It seems to me that many factors coincided in this game. A unique concept, easy to learn, funny characters. All this made it accessible and fascinating.
And most importantly, this game felt the love and care of the developers. They put their soul into it, and it feels.
I agree. Plants vs. Zombies has become a peculiar phenomenon in the world of video games, which has inspired many.
It's incredible how time flies, and here we are still together, discussing this wonderful game.
Or maybe we'll spend the evening in this zombie paradise again. I even got nostalgic.
Sounds great! Let's replay a few levels to remember the old days.
Or maybe we'll find some new details that we missed earlier. I am sure that even after all these years, the game can still surprise us.
And do you think they will be able to maintain such popularity in the following parts? Or have they already reached their peak?
Probably a lot depends on what other ideas they come up with, but I'm sure zombie and plant lovers will always come back.
I agree. The main thing is that the developers do not lose the charm and humor that made the first part so special.
And it is also important to maintain a balance between complexity and fascination. This is probably one of the reasons for its durability.
Well, let's play a few more rounds and see what this amazing game will offer us in the future. Maybe we'll discover something new.
Great idea. I am sure that even after all these years, the game will be able to surprise us.
Yes, let the eternal battle of zombies against plants continue!
And long alive Plants vs. Zombies! Let's enjoy this amazing world together for many more years!
Guys, what do you think about the latest updates in the second part of the game? It seems to me that the developers continue to add interesting elements to the game.
I absolutely agree. New plants and zombies add unexpected twists to every battle. It's really fresh.
But have they gone too far with some changes? For example, the last zombie boss seems too complicated.
Maybe, but that's the whole point of the challenge. I even enjoy the fact that now I need to apply new strategies to cope with these bosses.
Guys, what are the most memorable moments in Plants vs. Zombies for you? For me, for example, it was the first time I met Zomboss.
And I remember the first time I encountered the main zombie in adventure mode. At that moment, I realized that the game would be a real challenge.
My favorite moments are related to plants. I remember the first time I used a lot of ice pea shooters. It was beautiful chaos.
And I always remember the moment when I managed to win a level with 3 zombie dancers, just the magic of sounds and light.
What are your favorite plants and zombies? Maybe everyone has their own favorite?
I've always preferred a bonfire. His fireballs are like cool fireworks during a battle.
And I probably have a favorite. Cabbage. It's always a pleasure to watch him smash zombies with vegetables.
My favorite Big Nut is always on the front line. His ability to create a barrier and slow down enemies is simply incredible.
Guys, what strategies do you like in the game? For example, I always try to create a line of solar plants for maximum energy reserve.
I often use a combination of shooting plants and plants that can slow down enemies. This helps to deal effectively with large groups of zombies.
And I prefer to focus on strong attacking plants, such as bonfire or watermelon thrower. With their help, you can quickly destroy large groups of enemies.
I like to create tactical barriers with the help of large nuts and various plants with slowing effects. This allows you to control the flow of zombies and strengthen the defense.
And how do you deal with bosses? What strategies do you have against them?
I usually use strong attacking plants and try to focus the fire on the boss to destroy it quickly.
I prefer to build defenses around the boss to slow down his movement and give my plants more time to attack.
My big nuts are great for creating obstacles in front of the boss. They are able to withstand a lot of damage and create space for attacking plants.
Very interesting strategies. Do you think there are any other secrets in the game that you haven't divulged?
Probably each of us discovers his own tricks over time. That's what makes the game so exciting. There's always something new to explore.
And when you encounter new types of zombies or plants, it also adds an element of surprise to the game. So perhaps there are still many unexplored strategies.
The main thing to remember is that not only strategy is important in the game, but also fun. Sometimes the most unexpected combinations of plants can lead to the most exciting moments.
I agree. Let's continue our battle and maybe discover a few more tricks on the way to victory. Guys, let's remember the funniest situations that happened to us during the game. I think I had a moment when zombies tried to get through my line of pea shooters.
And I had a case when I accidentally put a bonfire right in front of a zombie dancer. He was dancing so enthusiastically that he didn't even notice that he was walking straight into the fire.
And I remember how once in the last wave, a giant zombie appeared and my plants all at once directed fire at him. It seems that he did not expect such a warm welcome.
And I had a funny moment with my favorite tall nuts. The zombies tried to pass by, but the nuts were against it, creating such a barrier that the zombies were simply confused.
Wow, there are always funny moments in the game. But what about the most difficult situations you've had to face?
Probably the most difficult moment for me was when Zomboss appeared, accompanied by several zombie dancers. It was a real symphony of chaos.
I have also encountered this combination. But even more difficult were the moments when zombies appeared on cars that lay ice. They just rolled through my plants like a whirlwind.
For me, the challenge was levels with a limited number of solar charges. It was necessary to carefully distribute energy between plants in order to survive.
And yet, despite the difficulties, we always manage together. It's important to remember, teamwork in Plants vs. Zombies is the key to success.
And no matter how difficult the game becomes, fun and friendship are always a priority.
Guys, how did you first hear about Plants vs. Zombies? It seems to me that each of us has his own story.
I saw the game for the first time at a friend's. He was so excited and told me about weird zombies and smart plants. I immediately realized that I needed to try.
And I had a similar impression. A friend showed me some levels, and I was amazed by the combination of strategy and humor in the game.
Something similar happened to me. One day I saw my brother playing Plants vs. Zombies, and I couldn't tear myself away. This mercy and the jokes of zombies hit me on the spot.
And how did you feel when you first plunged into this amazing world? I had a feeling that this was something completely new and fresh for the tower defense genre.
Exactly. This game was distinguished by its originality and unusual approach to the topic of zombies. I didn't even expect that fighting zombies could be so much fun.
And I liked their dynamic mix of strategy and action. I've always loved tower defense, but Plants vs. Zombies has added such a wonderful element of diversity to it.
And of course, funny characters and a variety of plants made the game really memorable.
What do you think makes this game so unique that it has attracted players from all over the world for many years?
Perhaps it's a combination of simplicity and depth of the game. It is accessible for beginners, but at the same time offers quite difficult challenges for experienced players.
And undoubtedly, the developers were able to maintain interest in the game by adding new plants, zombies, and modes. This creates a sense of constant renewal and diversity.
Yes, and do not forget that the game has always been social. We gathered around her, shared experiences, discussed strategies. This creates a kind of community around the game.
And so, the next level is passed. They were so easy that they didn't even have to really comment on them.
Next time we hope for more challenging levels. Still, they want to show their most crowning tactics.
Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel.
Thank you all for watching. Good luck.